Ilia Topuria has reportedly listed his $3.5 million home for sale this month. The Madrid property, which he previously shared with his ex-wife, is located in one of the city's most exclusive neighborhoods and also served as a frequent training spot for Ilia. The home features a private gym, a spa, 24/7 security, and a 6-car garage. Rafael Fiziev did an impression of Jean Silva crying after seeing the UFC title. Silva left a comment on the video with 5 laughing crying emojis. Merab Dvalishvili thinks Ilia Topuria was laughing while watching Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett.
So Ilia is laughing now because they have a dirty boxing, really, you know. They just fighting hard, but there is no good technique. But Ilia will be laughed now because Ilia has such a high level boxing.
Sean O'Malley revealed that prior to UFC 324, he was worried about becoming the next Tony Ferguson. Him and Tim Welsh also spoke about witnessing Paddy Pimblett vaping while cutting weight.
The relief after the fight, this was the most relief I felt after the fight. Coming off coming off 2 losses, I never thought I'd ever come off ever be that guy. I'm like, be the new Tony Ferguson, just lose 4 or 5, then switch to boxing.
I mean, it goes through your mind.
100%.
It goes through your
Old
mind.
guru. I said I could be the next T Ferg and just lose 5 MMA fights, but have a great boxing career.
Yeah.
And then Zuffa boxing, I'm like, baby, I'm gonna lose. I'll just tell Dana, hey, I'll fight for $10 or whatever you pay these guys, and I'm gonna box. Dude, I could not believe I was on weight, 136 pounds, in the back, dying like everyone else, and Paddy was sitting there ripping his vape, blowing clouds.
I chat GPT it. Yeah, literally Paddy's on weight, 154 pounds. The guy's used to walking around 200 pounds, and the only thing going into his body, hitting his stomach, hitting his blood vessels, is this fucking toxic vape.
Nina Drama posted footage of Arman Tsarukyan intensely watching the Gaethje versus Pimblett fight.
Up, get your feet, get your feet. Watch the uppercut. Come on. Bang! It was that bang! Baby!
Take his back, choke him out.
I don't get this position.
Please stay on this position all around. Давай! No еще один раз дай, блядь! Пожалуйста! Choke him out! No, давай! Дай!
Wow. Who's Paddy standing, man? Paddy standing. Wow, just stay on him.
Alexander Volkanovski said he would accept fights at lightweight, welterweight, or even middleweight if the UFC offered it.
Yeah, whatever it is. If they were to offer me any fight at lightweight or welterweight, I'm going to do it. They could offer me middleweight, I'll do it. That's just how I am, 100%. It's just do you earn it or deserve it? Some will say, yeah, probably still do. Not after one fight, maybe a defense, because people can look back and be like, yeah, all right, yeah, you took a short notice fight, 11 days, got knocked out and tried to bounce back 3 months later. You're doing it, the UFC is solid both times. you know, you still probably do deserve it. Like, right, if that's your losses.
That's what I'm saying.
Pound for pound, number one and number two, they're probably still looking at that. You know what I mean? So if you look at it, which is pretty crazy when you look at it that way, isn't it? The storyline there, I fought on short notice, very short notice, knockout, quick turnaround. A lot of people are going to be like, yeah, that's not a great idea. But then them losses are there's always going to be questions around them losses. And then you're like, wait a second, even without them, it's against the pound for pound number one and number two, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's against the best that we have right now. So that's, I guess that is still saying something, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Where your only losses are against the two pound for pound guys that keep fighting each other for that number one spot. And the short notice, obviously, there's stories behind that as well.
Belal Muhammad thinks Paddy Pimblett should fight Dan Hooker next.
For Paddy, yeah, he's gonna need a lot of recovery. I think for the UFC, definitely, especially after a fight like that, you wanna get him back in the one column. You don't wanna give him too hard of a fight, but you know, you can't just throw him. There is no layups in the UFC anymore. I think they're gonna end up giving him somebody like Dan Hooker. They got a little back and forth. They've been talking trash. You don't wanna give him Arman. I think Arman's the toughest test in that lightweight division for any of these guys. And I just don't know where he goes from here.
Demetrious Johnson responded to the idea that he may be the most underpaid fighter in UFC history. Despite not earning as much as some believe he should have, DJ says he was smart with his money early on and made several investments.
I know you'll take this as a compliment, but relative to your greatness, you might be the most underpaid fighter of all time, right? Because Volkanovski bought a farm. And if your prime had existed 10 years later, DJ, you wouldn't have to do anything on YouTube if you didn't want to.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think I was probably very underpaid as a professional athlete. I never forget, it's funny you mentioned that story because when I was there, I remember walking to Sean Shelby and I was like, okay, so what's next? And he goes, I think we're gonna have you fight John Dodson. I was like, I made more money fighting Chris Carriasso than I fought Kyoji Horiguchi. I was like, can I just fight him again? Because, he was, and then that's the unfortunate thing in mixed martial arts is that, there's been a lot of things talking about pay for super boxing. And, I'm grateful. Like, I was able to go to one championship and start making great money. A lot of people think all the money is in the UFC. It's not. I know athletes who are making way more money outside of the UFC who aren't even champions. So I think, it is what it is. And there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is save your money, invest your money. And that's what I did. Like, ever since I started fighting when I was back in 2012, I saved a lot of my money and I put it in investments, a lot of my money. Like, I didn't buy a farm, I did that, but I got a house in Arizona, I got 2 houses in Washington, I got a rental, I got a lot of things that I made smart investments where I can just enjoy. The YouTube stuff is fun. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
But there will come a point in time where I was like, okay, I'm done with YouTube. Like, I'm just like, I'm done. Just like I did with fighting, But I wish I could buy a farm. But like I said before, when I look back and I look at everything I've done and what I have, I'm like, okay, we're sitting pretty nice.
Kamaru Usman thinks Sean O'Malley needs one more fight before fighting for the bantamweight title again.
Last night, I don't feel like the two bantamweights that we were kind of hoping one would break out with the breakout performance to really stamp themselves as the next contender. I don't think anyone really kind of came out there like that. So
yeah, no, but
I think they
neither did him.
Exactly. So I think they do the trilogy with Peter Yan and Merab next, and then they go, hold on here, Sean O'Malley, I do believe needs another fight if he wants to get back to that title.
Okay. So who
now, there's 2 opponents potentially for him. One is another bantamweight that looked really good last night, Umar Nurmagomedov. Or 2, we know my dark horse is in that division, Corey Sandhagen. So I think both guys are kind of waiting right there for Sean O'Malley. That's the fight. If you want to get back to that title, that is the fight that gets you back there. Either one of those guys.
Yeah. Jorge Masvidal thinks Ilia Topuria would destroy Paddy Pimblett after watching him fight Justin Gaethje over the weekend.
It's a good thing that Paddy also didn't win, because if he did, he was going to get torched by Ilia. And I think Gaethje just retires and rides off into the sunset because he don't want to see Ilia. I think both these guys are just like levels below Ilia, and that fight really showed it all on the wrestling, on the striking, the defense, the offense. I think Ilia's on a whole other planet when it comes to these guys. And hopefully they give him just engages so you get another guy and do him like a lawn chair, and he's gonna fold him.
Rose Namajunas had to have surgery following her unanimous decision loss to Natália Silva at UFC 324.
All right, guys, I'm heading into surgery, canalicular tube surgery. Yeah, I got poked in the eye a few times in the fight, so yeah, but my tube is torn, so it's gonna be repaired right now, and I'm gonna have a silicone tube in my eye, so
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. So pray for me, guys, and yeah, I'm just glad we can get it fixed. All right.
Arman Tsarukyan appeared on Daniel Cormier's YouTube channel yesterday and issued a formal apology to Dana White and Hunter Campbell.
Dana and Hunter, forgive me, give me the title fight. I'll be good boy. I'm a good boy, and I'm not gonna hit anybody anymore, and trying to be a good boy. So yeah, but I cannot. In the during camp, it can be happen everything, you know, like you can get hurt, but for the weight cut and for the punching bags or headbutt anybody, never happen again. Done. Yeah, but like, you know, I'm going to the fights, watch fights. Is someone like trying to like slap me? What I can do? I gotta slap him back, right?
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to the footage of Jean Silva crying over the UFC title. It's from BartFart3847. It says, Silva is so cringy. The second one's from Juice2620. It says, Silva is like a theater major that found MMA. And the final one's from Uzi909. It says, all Saturday proved was that Arman has the best shot to challenge Topuria. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.